Evening, everyone. How you doing? It's Mag here, also known as Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. Welcome to another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. We are broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to say hello to all the people that are here. Kindred was the first one here. He was well early. Rock Muse, how you doing? Great to see you, Rock Muse. Welcome on in. Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Great to see you. Also, resubscribed for 30 months at a tier 1 sub. That's 34 months. Thank you very much, Jenny. So welcome on in. RJ over on YouTube said you're first. You are. Welcome, RJ. You are the first person on YouTube. Welcome on in. The chat is discussing drinks and Pepsi Max and Cherry Coke and what's better. Flame, good evening. How are you? Great to see you. Legendary JL. How you doing? He says, I'm early for once in my life. Bless you. Thank you for being here, JL. It's always good. Even if you're late, it's okay. It's great. Gilfly, good evening. Erwin, welcome in. Good to see you. Retro Shazar, hello, good evening. Jenny says, hello, Magafa. Hello, Jenny. Good to see you. Danka, good evening. How's it going? Good to see you. Matt, Computer Club Matt, evening all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, dude. Welcome on in. We have got a fantastic show. Fantastic show for you tonight. I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing well. I'm very, very well. So I'm looking forward to this. But obviously, I can't do this show by myself. And thank you to all of you being here nice and early on YouTube and Twitch. I have someone who is a fountain of knowledge of the video game industry. Give it up. You love him. You know you do. It's the one. It's the only co-host that knows the most. It's Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm not bad, thanks. Hope everyone in chat's doing all right.
Yeah, it seems we got the best Dave we know. Don't tell that to Dave, my manager. Yeah, that'll get him in trouble, but I think that's the idea. Yeah, how's things?
Yeah, all good, thank you, mate. Can't complain. Keeping busy with work and all that. Getting some
Nice.
gaming in as well.
Which is more than me, which is ironic considering I've been working on games, but I don't get to play them much. Kindred says, I'll tell Dave. Oh, thanks, Kindred. Thanks. What have you been playing then? What have you had time to play?
I've been playing a bit more of Forza Horizon 6, still enjoying that. Yeah. I'm definitely sort of finding that after trying to play it with like wheel and pedals for like a couple of weeks, that game does just play better with a controller.
Okay.
I was playing online again with a friend on Sunday, and I was just finding, trying to race and try and keep up with him, that using the wheel, I just could not get the car to keep traction on corners. It just kept spinning far too easy. Switch to a controller, I can keep it on the track, stay competitive, race much better. I don't know if I could fiddle around with it more, get some settings right, but it's just a bit of a pain. It's one of those things I don't really want to waste the gaming time trying to get the bloody thing to work.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out the box off the bat, bugger it. I just go back to the controller, which just works perfectly with the game.
I mean, out of interest, obviously you used it on other racing games. Have you ever had that problem?
Yeah, I mean, Forza Horizon 5 wasn't particularly good, but it worked better with Gran Turismo 7 when I used that on the PlayStation. In fact, it was better with like a proper sim racer, whereas I guess since Horizon's a bit more arcadey, it just doesn't quite feel right. As I say, it's just hard to correct the car before it spins out. And I was just finding we'd start a race, pretty much the first corner, I'd spin off. And when it's like a multiplayer race, well, you do that. It's really hard to catch back up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably stick with a controller for it now.
Yeah.
I think it probably is just the way Horizon's designed, Kindred. It's just it is better with a controller. So I
want to give the most obvious award to RJ in chat, who says Dave is kind of bold.
Certainly, yeah.
I know. I'm so glad that
it's finally been revealed. Someone said
nearly 270 shows, people have realised. But I appreciate that, RJ. Thank you. Oh, Jenny hasn't noticed, so you're all right. You're in the clear, Dave. Jenny hasn't noticed. Is
right.
You're fine. You're fine. We can keep up the charade. There you go. Anything else apart from Forza?
Yeah, 007 First Light. Finished that over the weekend.
Yeah,
good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely room for improvement, I'd say. So I do hope IOI do get to make like a sequel to it, because I could definitely see places they could improve it. There's like a few of the vehicle driving sections that could be better.
Yeah,
say probably the first proper one where you're racing away from the that big massive manor house.
Oh,
that
like
you're
the mansion place.
Yeah, like the mansion, which they showed off in the gameplay trial a couple of years back. You know, that's probably the best of the vehicle sections I would say that you get to do. So hopefully they can just improve that, because I'd say Uncharted 4 probably still has like a better vehicle section than what they've managed to do in this. It's still not well enough, but definitely got room for improvement there. But I would say overall, the way it all like fits together, you know, the different little sort of hitman sections and the more actiony sections, it flows quite nicely. I enjoyed the story. You know, at the end of the day, I thought it's made sense as it went along. I said the only thing that's a bit of a wet fart. They probably just used it in the marketing. Was just was it Lenny Kravitz been in there?
Yeah, because the thing is, though, what I'm seeing is they're doing extra content, and he appears in the extra content as well.
Yeah, so
it's almost like they teased him in the main game to get you to play, which is a bit cheeky because everyone thought he was the big bad guy, which clearly
that's what it looked like. But well, we'll see.
Maybe
what
he
they
wanted
do with the extra content.
Yeah, maybe he was too busy and he had to fly away. Any Lenny Kravitz fans in the house? I apologize. Anyway, anything else you've been playing?
Well, since I finished Bond, I just went back to an older game I hadn't finished, Cairn, which I know you finished.
I did.
I was taking quite a lot of time with it, so I'm still only about, I'd say, halfway up the mountain. Does you know what it shows you for your route in the loading screen? So, but I'm still taking my time with that, still thoroughly exploring it, meeting like various characters, finding lots of like hidden stuff that's around there.
Yeah,
and still really enjoying the actual like climbing in the game. It can be incredibly frustrating sometimes when it just doesn't quite play ball, but once you get it going, it can be really good, and it gets stressful, but stressful in a good way. Because you've got limited pitons to try and like mark your position as you're going along in case you slip, and trying to like get across some surfaces or up some of the surfaces can be quite challenging. I really like it. I ain't going to finish it, definitely.
I think this is the thing. It's one of those games that it can be frustrating, but it's so rewarding when you do accomplish it.
Oh, definitely. The sections in that where I thought I was struggling, but I managed to get through it. And so you find something at the end of it. It was worth like half an hour or more of like trying to like get over this like small section in the game.
Yeah. But there is now a free DLC out, I think, as well. That's
I'm not sure if it's out yet or if it's coming out, but there is DLC.
I think it's out this month, I think.
Maybe it's
If anyone knows, chuck it in chat. But I'd play the DLC, and it's free. So
definitely would.
But there you go. I got to meet some of the devs that made that game as well, so I was very chuffed. Awesome. That was a dev breakfast thing at TwitchCon, so that was kind of cool. I only got a meeting for about 5 minutes. I wanted to kind of gush over how much I love that game, but it was so busy. It was like, oh, you don't want to take up all their time. There you go. Kindred says, after 13 years, I'm finally playing The Last of Us Part 1, but though I chose the remaster version, nothing wrong with that. Which remaster version did you do? Did you do the first, the second, or the 452nd version of the remaster that they did for The Last of Us in the space of 5 years? RJ says, okay, so what we're doing here, because this is my first time on the channel. Okay, so what we do is we talk about all the new games that have come out in the last week and gaming news. We play trailers, but we also have a guest, and this beautifully segues in what we're going to do now. Because we have a guest, and the guest can be YouTubers, streamers, actual game devs that make games. And tonight's guest, this gentleman, I've had the privilege of meeting numerous times, and I'm so glad I did when I first met him at the first event back in April, because he has a game that there is a Kickstarter for, and it's in early access. Some of you may have seen me playing it live on Twitch last night. I absolutely adore this. I got hands-on with this at London Games Festival. I love the aesthetic. I see what he's going for, and I'll let him explain it because I don't want to take any of this away from it. But please welcome from Beyond the Pixels, we've got the wonderful Haz. Good evening.
Hey, guys. I love that intro. I mean, you've done it. Done.
There you go. Sold the game. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. See you next week.
I'm just in backstage listening to, and I actually quite like that little pun you did there, that Lenny Kravitz pun. So
thank you. I appreciate it, because I saw that one of my moderators said that joke was so bad I'm going to quit this mod.
Sorry.
I've never known you.
You can't really blame her.
Thanks, Dave. There you go. Kindred said also they announced today the actual release date for the Hellraiser games, 8th of October. God, so they're going to chuck that in with even more games. Flipping out. I'm going to have it. We were talking
too
about
much stuff out end of September, start of October.
I'm going to.
They're all trying to cram their releases in right before GTA.
Do you know what though? It's going to be. We're going to say this because we were talking about this just before we went live. It's going to be good for the talk show because it means we're going to have lots of big hitting name games to talk about on future shows. But dear God, trying to play all these games that are coming out in back end of August, September, October, and trying to cover them all is you're never going to finish them all. They've got a backlog this year, let alone anything else. Yeah, exactly. Game over. Game over.
Game over, man.
No chance. Game over, man. I quite said, don't enable him. Yes, enable me.
Enabled.
There you go. But yes, I mean, this is the thing. So before we even get into who you are and what you do, Haz, we're having this discussion about how the landscape is changing.
Yeah.
With games, and you were saying we had this thing where games used to be a couple of hours going back in the day. Games used to be a couple of hours long and all that, and then they became like these 40-hour, 80-hour, 120-hour epic games. But then everything's changing, isn't it? Now again,
it is like I think 10 years ago, publishers were like, you need to have 10 plus hours in order for Steam not to activate the refund policy, right? So I think if it's like below 3 hours or something, you can get a refund. So publishers always freaking out massively. And so you've seen all these games that are completely stretched out, all these really massive open world games that just let you walk and walk and walk. And I'm like thinking, well, man, I remember the days you just like buy a game, get the cartridge, put it in the console, play, complete it in a weekend, and there's still replayability. You're still having conversations about it. And you still want to go back and play. You don't feel like fatigued playing it, right? And I feel like those games are coming back now. People are getting fatigued, and you're always gonna find a place for like the Elden Ring and the Cyberpunks and the GTAs. Those games are always. It's kind of like if you look at cinema, right? You have the tentpole movies. You're always gonna get the big movies, right? The ones always gonna play theatrical releases, but you also get those odd A24 films or those odd indie films like Backrooms or Obsessions. And those are always, or the Blair Witch Project is a good example, which was made for like next to nothing, right? With a massive marketing budget. So I think it's going to be divided between indie and big. And the same thing in the movies. There isn't no middle ground of the movies anymore. That middle ground is like Amazon and Netflix and so on. But I think with gaming, you're going to get the indie darlings that are doing really, really well, like the Mugenics and so on. And then you've got the big AAAs like the GTAs.
Yeah. I quite saying I'm still playing Street Fighter 2 nearly 30 odd years later, and you can beat that in like 8 minutes.
Exactly. And someone's saying that I'm still playing Street Fighter 2. So, amen. Me too. I still play Street Fighter. I do that. Here comes a new challenger. I love that. Nothing beats that.
That is awesome. We'll get into what Astro Burn is and why you did it. I did this because obviously Danka was watching the stream I did last night.
Oh yeah, cool.
One thing I have to say with Astro Burn, whatever sound clips you used are certainly animal curious. We had a couple of cats and dogs curious and that's true. We had a number of viewers that going every time you were saving the kittens, they were like,
Hey, there is a little story about those sound effects. Okay, this is on YouTube as well. On my YouTube channel, we actually did the making of. That's actually sounds of my cat. So we sampled the sounds of my cat eating. My cat meows a lot, right? Especially when she's eating, she likes to meow. I mean, that's what she does. So I'm like, I'm going to sample hell out of that. And then I gave it to my sound designer, Roman, in Paris, and he would then, make it like put some reverb on there and make it really cool. But yeah, that's my cat Mia. So I mean, good thing, she's not part of an agent or anything. So there's the royalty fees are.
I was going to say, you get a cheap deal. That's all right.
Yeah, catnip for life.
Catnip for life. Jenny said it took me well over 40 hours to complete Super Mario back in the day.
I mean, those games are hard. Those games are. I mean, they may have been short. Like you can speed run a lot of these games now, but when you first play them, like as a teenager or first time, they're really hard. Those games didn't really have like super easy mode, and like today, games kind of hold your hand. Like even like when I've worked on games as not as an indie developer, like working games like Dune, for example, or Call of Ray Rally, all those other games. And there's always this thing that we got to make the onboarding even more obvious. You got to put queues everywhere. I'm like, back in the day, there was no queues. You freaking figure this shit out and just do it.
I think this is the thing, and I was going to say we've just dropped your links in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is what we'll do. I'm going to play the trailer for Astro Burn, and this is the trailer, and this is the other thing. We'll talk about the events you've been at and stuff. But it was Game Matter. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Have the Prime mag. Thank you. Not to be confused with that really shitty sports drink that came out that everyone was drinking and then moaning about a couple of years ago. Tasted like washing up liquid. But there you go. Thank you so much, Game Matter. I hope you're well. Thank you for that sub, dude. So let's anyway, Kindred said I used to go stand in WH Smith's and find the game being reviewed and how to get through parts stuck on forget. Yeah, you used to read up in magazines and find out what you had to do.
Yeah.
No, it was difficult to find out. The internet didn't exist.
Do you remember the phone number you had to ring? So I remember you had to ring up the phone number, right?
Yeah. That what getting your mum would be like, bloody hell, what's going on with my phone?
Yeah, exactly.
Calls are charged at £1 for the first minute and £4 for every minute after that. And they're like, welcome to the game tips hotline. Press 1 for this game. So before you even pick the game you want to listen to, you've already run up a bill of £7.
Exactly. Oh, teletext. That was a good one. I remember teletext. I remember like going on teletext to watch those colored texts, and yeah, man, I forgot what it was called. There was like a show on teletext, like a special newsletter.
There was. I remember that.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, that was good.
There you go. Mum did that for Discworld as the ending in the magazine was wrong. There you go.
Brilliant.
So talking of retro games and everything, Astro Burn, we're going to play the trailer, and this trailer is something very, very special because obviously I said Met has at a number of events. He's been at TwitchCon, I say London Games Festival. He's going to be at Knott's Video Game Expo next month, which I'm also at. So if you go into Knott's, you'll get to play the game. But this game is also going to be at Timeless in August. And this was extra special because this trailer dropped because Haz's game was part of IGN Live Fest over the Summer Games Fest weekend. How freaking cool was that? So let's play the trailer for those who've not seen the game, and we'll talk about how this all came about. This, folks, is Astro Burn. There you go. Astro Burn is in early access right now. There is a Kickstarter, which we'll talk about in a minute. And as we drop the links, which are also pinned to the top of the Twitch chat, you can wishlist it and play the demo on Steam. So, Haz, we've been talking about retro games and things. Tell us how this all came about.
So I actually started this as a solo project last year. Thank you, Jenny Sparkles. Glad you liked the trailer. I had finished 3.5 years as a cinematics director on a game called Dune Awakening, the big Funcom MMO game. And so, yeah, I mean, massive difference. So you look at the contrast between a cute 'em up and a dark, crazy game like Dune. But I spent so long working on that, and I realized I wanted to make my own game. And I'm like, the problem is setting up a games company in a time where it's a very turbulent, like loads of layoffs and stuff like that, and the game industry wasn't a good space. I'm like, I can't set up a games company in that time. I've got to have a reason for it. So I realized I want to make games the way we used to make games back in the mid-90s. I was the kid who would buy the magazine from the off license and then type the code and then, you know, make stuff, put it on a floppy and send it out to like magazines to feature and stuff. I was that kid. I was that nerd, right? So I'm like, those are good days. And then, yeah, I remember like getting a bit older, like into like college, we'd do game jams. I'm like, why don't we make games that way anymore? You know, like they were the good times. It was all about fun. We were technologically limited, right, back in the day, but that's why we had such fun games. And today, having worked on like games like Battalion Wars and so on, I've worked on a lot of range of games. Colin McRae Rally Codemasters. That I realized I wanted to make a game that kind of reflected my childhood. So I looked at my collection of cartridges that I have, like a lot of Super Famicom games. And originally I wanted to make my own version of R-Type. And then I saw this game called Parodius, part of my collection, which is a Konami game, where it's a shoot 'em up, but instead of a spaceship, you have really cute animals. And instead of big giant robots,
there's
you
like
switch it up.
And stuff, is it?
Penguins, mermaids, exactly.
Remember
But back then it was considered as weird Japanese niche, right? But then I thought today that isn't niche. That is memeable as hell. People want that stuff on Instagram. So I started testing the idea. I started doing a demo. I went to develop. I tested the game very, very early on because I financed the game myself.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this game started to like grow a community. And the community, everyone in the community, including streamers and other devs, were like, lean into the cat stuff, dude. Go weird. Go batshit crazy. And I just made the most bonkers game. Basically, everything that I learned in the game industry about, you know, putting in the right tropes, making sure it's safe, you know, trying to make it feel like other games. This one, I was like, no, I'm flipping the script. I'm making it as batshit crazy as I can. And then, like, it's only like 4 or 5 months ago, I got signed to a publisher. And I remember asking the publisher, Pixel Doors, I'm like, so thank you for signing me, but why did you sign me? They're like, your game is bonkers. It's just the most bonkers thing we've ever seen. So go more bonkers. And I am just having so much fun making this game. And we're in early access at the moment.
Yeah.
But the team was small because originally it was just me. And then around June, July, I had a really rough version. And I'm like, I'm going to bring on some artists. And I was in Canada. And that's how I shot the footage in the trailer, by the way. So the footage of the chair, so all the live action of the helmet and stuff, that was on an LED volume stage, like a virtual production stage, which they've used on shows like The Mandalorian and stuff. Yeah. For those who don't know me, I used to work in film and TV as a director and producer, hence the trailer being very live action heavy and stuff. And I was doing some test shots in virtual production. And then this guy called Q Yuneda, who's this art director, he goes, hey, man, I'd love to play your game. And he played it. And he goes, man, I love your game. I'd love to do some fan art. So he did a piece of fan art for me. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I looked at the fan art. I'm like, I can't unsee this. He redrew the character. I'm like, this looks so freaking good. You have to do the art for this game. Like, he goes, well, you know, I'm a commercials director, but I'll tell you one thing I do. I do a piece of art every night. I just draw and draw. So I'll do a piece of art for you. Yeah. I'm like, cool. And that piece of art became 2, 3, ended up redesigning the levels, and he just became the art director of the game. So that's why it's got that parade. And the funny thing is, dude, he was the only one at the time that got the reference. Because, of course, I grew up playing Parodius in Japan when I was like 12. I'm like, where have you been all my life? So, yeah, it's a great partnership. And he's Japanese but lives in Canada. And, and it really is about, you can have a cool idea. You can be hardworking, but it really is about the people you surround yourself with. And the same with the music. The music is one of like the coolest music. People are always talking about the music and the sound design. Again, that's a guy called Roman Rapak, who is from a band called Venice Bleach, who I've been a massive fan of his music. He's been a fan of my work. And then he goes, I want to do music for this game. And he was doing music before I even had a level, dude. I just imagined this idea of like, I can make this really cool, bonkers shit. He goes, I got you. I'm like, what if you haven't seen anything? He goes, I just get the vibe. And he just did the music. I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. Done.
That's so good. It's almost like it's obviously was meant to be because it all just fell into place beautifully, mate.
I think so. And and that's why it's so important to keep your game simple as possible. Because, like, for example, when I announced I was making a 2D side scroller shoot 'em up, and I love saying shoot 'em up as opposed to shoot 'em up. Like, everyone's like, but it's going to be done in Unreal Engine, right? It's going to be this big cinematic thing because we've seen your work, your career. It's all Unreal Engine, big cinematics, like Dune, right? I'm like, no, I'm making it not in Unreal. I'm making it in something called GDevelop, which is this 2D JavaScript game engine, and it's all going to be 2D art. They're like, what happened? Did you hit your head or something? I'm like, no, I actually want to pivot. I want to do something different, and I'm glad I did because then you start seeing a resurgence of modern retro, and I started to see people like Commodore, relaunching their brand. People like Acclaim, the classic publisher, relaunch it. Atari, and then Neo Geo announced their Neo Geo console. It sold out on pre-sale, and apparently they haven't even made the final product yet, and it's pre-sold.
That's insane.
So there's a massive resurgence. And the more I looked into it, I thought it was nostalgia. I thought it was like, us guys and girls just like reliving the good old mid-90s and 80s. But no, it's the younger generation looking at this and going like, we want that. Like, we want to hold a cartridge. Hell, we want to own something. We want ownership now. We don't want subscription anymore. And it's this whole movement at the moment. Yeah.
So that brings us nicely to the Kickstarter, because there is before we do that, we've just been raided. Ozone, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the raid, dudes. Also, I can say hello to some other people that are here. When is Matt? Hello. Hannah, how you doing? Welcome on in. Also, we had A7 on YouTube as well. Welcome on in to everyone. How are you, Ozone? For all those that have just joined, Ozone was on our show a couple of weeks back. Thank you so much for that raid. Dave Housen, here he is. Shh, we weren't talking about Dave at all earlier in the show. It's fine. Good evening, Dave. How are you? Ozone, thank you for that raid. For those who don't know me, I am Mag. This is my co-host, Dave. This is our wonderful guest tonight. This is wonderful Haz from Beyond the Pixels. We're talking about his game that he made. Nosferatu, someone's typed in the chat. I don't know why. Fine, if you want to say that, that's good. The crazy world of live streaming. There you go. I don't know. Maybe it's an idea for a game. I don't know. Ozone says, doing well. Thank you so much for that raid, Ozone. Great to see you, buddy. There you go. Chloe, welcome on in as well. Says, my phone died, but I'm back. Good to be back now. Great. Now I need to go watch the VOD. Yes, you can. After you finish watching this show. So there you go. So before we got the raid, and thank you again, really appreciate the raid. You talked about physical media and the cartridges behind you. And this leads beautifully into the Kickstarter. Now, on last night's stream, I mentioned about the Kickstarter, but at the many events I've seen you at and met you at, you've actually had these for people to see and check out. So if no one knows what I'm going on about, I'm going to show you now the video of what the Kickstarter is all about. Go check this out, people.
Do you remember the golden era of gaming, when buying a game wasn't just a purchase, it was a ritual? Admiring that beautiful box art, maybe giving it that mysterious blow that somehow always worked. There were no downloads, there were no accounts to sign up. Also, gaming back then was very social. Sitting together in the same room, competing, cooperating. Hi, I'm Haz Dalal, and I'm the founder of Beyond the Pixels. My mission is to bring that feeling back through what we're calling modern retro. Now, our first game is Astroburn, a fast-paced sci-fi cute-em-up where you play as a spacefaring cat, blasting through colourful, bullet-hell chaos, triggering catnip power-ups, and battling adorable critters. Now, Astroburn will be launched digitally, but we also want to release it the way games used to be experienced, and that is why we're here today on Kickstarter. We're creating a limited physical collector's edition, which includes a retro game box with beautiful artwork, a USB cartridge edition of the game. You just plug it in, install, and play it on your PC or even your Mac. Kickstarter exclusive collectible cards, retro synth soundtrack on a cassette, and much more. We can't make this physical edition happen without the community, without you. So if you believe, like me, that games should be collected, shared, and remembered, we'd love your support. Please back the project, spread the word, and join us in bringing Astroburn to life, the modern retro way. Thank you.
Oh, you're muted, mate.
There he is.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Better.
There you go. I think because I clicked
deaf for a minute.
There you go. I clicked the thing a bit too quick. There you go. Yeah, the mysterious blow has got a few people chuckling in
the click as well. So that was good.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know, it was interesting making that video because like I've been collecting games for a very long time, and I'm like, finally, I get to do something with this collection. I get to shoot this stuff. But also, it was interesting because like the publisher who's publishing the physical release is not the same as our digital publisher. Our digital publisher is Pixel Doors, right? Our physical publisher is a company called 33 Games. And 33 Games, they're fairly new, and they just announced they're doing Zool. Do you remember the game Zool?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They're doing the reboot of the kind of like the reintroducing of Zool in the box and everything. And Stephen Charles, who reached out to me via TikTok. He saw Astroburn via TikTok. He DMs me, goes, "Look, dude, I don't usually slide into people's DMs. I'm not even on TikTok usually, but I just want to say I love Astroburn. We should talk about physical." I'm like, sure. And we started talking. And what's interesting, I always thought the physical publisher and the digital publisher wouldn't see eye to eye, right? They're like, well, you're taking my revenue stuff because the game basically, I own the rights to the game. And that's another thing that any indie devs listen to, always own the rights to your game. Always. Don't sell it off to a publisher. So I was able to do what I want in the game. And the digital rights, the digital publishing rights are with Pixel Doors, but the physical is free to go to where I go. And what's interesting is they're both working together. I just love Pixel Doors supports the physical release massively. Even though they're not making any revenue on that, they can see the bigger picture. Like, if people buy the physical, it's going to make the game brand bigger. And I think that's the world we live in today. That kind of like, there isn't that nasty competition anymore. It's now like helping each other to kind of like lift up a small indie game, and no matter who owns what. And I love that. I
think that's so cool. I've just brought up the because you hear it more and more. It's funny because we were saying about the fact that actually at the same event that we were at, I had Peter Molyneux.
Yeah.
And Peter Molyneux was talking about, and you'd expect him to go, well, I made Fable and blah, blah, blah. He was so complimentary about what Playground Games are doing for Fable. Yeah. And I thought that's really cool. So when people actually work together, things work, people. This is how it works.
100%.
You never know what's going on. But you have literally got less than 2 days to go on your Kickstarter, haven't you?
And we're like 135% funded.
Yeah,
which has been amazing.
You had a goal of 5,000 and you're already at 6,781, which is fantastic. I'm just gonna.
It's amazing, and really, it just shows that people want physical. And I think, if anything, it's not so much about the fact that the game is on a USB cartridge and that it's DRM free, digital rights management, right? It means that you put it anywhere, don't need to sign up. But I think it's the message of what this game stands for, which is we can put the game, play the game, take it to your friend's house. Do you remember the days you could just take your cartridge to your friend's house and put it in their game and play it? These days you have to sign into an account, or you cannot sign into an account because of IP addresses. I wanted this game to be experienced the same way, the same spirit of why I decided to make Astroburn in the first place.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I have to do digital in order to stay in the way the industry is going. But what's interesting is this has become way more popular than the Steam version, and I'm loving that. So when at Timeless, one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna have all the physical stuff out. In fact, every event I'm going to now, in fact, on London Games Festival, everyone was playing the game, but the minute I took the cartridge out and went pop, everyone's like, what is that?
Yeah,
tell me more.
I noticed people were looking at that all the time. In fact, we had to. I think because you were on a panel at one point.
Yeah,
and me and Big Fuzzy Yak were keeping an eye on your stand because God, is this? Because you get people who go, oh, is this a freebie? Can I take? It's like, no, don't take that.
Thank God you guys are there.
I know. Jenny said, will we be able to buy them at Timeless?
You should be able to. You should be, because my physical publisher is going to be with me as well. So you should be able to. You'll be able to hold them, and there's going to be other stuff there as well. So I don't see why you couldn't. Yeah,
there'll be stuff on the stand. So Haz is going to be where he's going to be. He's not going to be in one of the little booths that we've got in the main room. You've got the room behind the main stage where you got the little bridge. It sounds crazy, but there's a little bridge that goes over to it. And there's going to be forefront with another game on this big giant bar area. So he's going to be Astroburn on the one side and another game on the other side of this bar. So you'll literally walk in and it'll be the first thing you see when you walk into this room, which is
amazing.
So you'll be able to play the game, talk to Haz.
Yeah.
buy the game, maybe buy some merch, and
Yeah.
then some. Save all your hard money. But yeah, there you go. Gilfly says, cool, count me in. So you go, yay, you'll be at Timeless, yes. And can you bring pictures of your cat? Says Rock News.
Well, the funny thing is, mention the talk of pictures and cats. One of the rewards we're doing on Kickstarter is I think it's an add-on reward. If you send us a photo of your cat, Q Yoneda, our art director, will create a pixel art version of cat, put it in a game so you see it, and credit it in the game as well.
Awesome.
And cool I love that because it immortalizes your pets, right, in the video game.
Rodney's like, oh my God.
Sign me up now.
So if you could just drop the links for the Kickstarter and stuff, if mods would be so cool. So if you want that and you want your pets immortalized in the game, please do click the links that are going to appear, or they're also pinned to the top of the Twitch chat.
I do feel sorry for our art director Q Yoneda though, because he's like, we've had a lot of people submit stuff.
I was going to say,
he was like, damn ass, like, why did you make that offer?
Postpone the game for a year because I've got to create like 500 dogs and cats.
But it's cool. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Now, for me, you have to bring the community involved, and I think even creating a game last year, going to the events, and meeting people, meeting streamers, meeting everyone of all walks of life. That even people that like, we had some streamers that were like, we don't usually play shmups, we really don't. But it was the Space Cat. But more so, this game doesn't feel like it's a shmup, but there's a cozy vibe to the shmup vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think anyone who's not been in that genre can play this quite easily as well.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. Because here's the thing, dude. Do you remember, I remember buying, like Golden Axe. Do you remember Golden Axe, right?
Yeah.
And you see the front cover. It's this big, massive, muscular guy. It's very testosterone heavy. And that was the 80s, right? Everything was very muscular driven. Like today, like equally just as much female gamers than male gamers. They're playing Call of Duty. They're playing Valorant. They're playing all those cool games that were back in the day, like in the 80s, it was predominantly male, right? And I feel like it's hard to make a game for everyone. But when you put a cute space cat in there with lots of puns, you kind of open up for everyone, right?
Yeah, that's true. It is. There's a, because you're right, because it opens up to also, as you said, the cozy market. Yeah. Ironically, even though that it is a crazy shooter, it matches. It matches. It works, dude. It works.
Did you notice that if you go to bonus? You go to the bonus, you can listen to the soundtrack, but there's this thing that's not being enabled yet, but it will be enabled probably late next week.
ASMR.
Cat TV mode.
Yeah, we have the Cat TV mode, and that I can't wait to see that. I did show that off last night, and I was like, this is something that's coming soon.
We just one of the things. So we got several Cat TV modes, right? And you go on YouTube. There's like hours just weird birds flying around, right? And what's really cool, I've been spending like over a year playtesting this with players all over the world, as well as in person. But Cat TV mode is going to be the best playtest sessions because it's going to be a bunch of cats. I'm going to film it, dude. It's going to be the hardest playtest session of my career. And it's going to be brilliant.
It's either going to go swimmingly well or a lot of equipment's going to get destroyed.
I think the insurance is going to kick in at some point on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Insurance. No cats were harmed during this process, just a lot of expensive equipment.
Exactly.
On that note, gents, shall we kick off our show?
Yeah,
officially.
Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Again, if you want to find out any more about Astroburn, the links will appear. They are on the top of the Twitch chat. If the mods could very kindly drop them in the chat right now, I would greatly appreciate it. But we are just about to kick off our 270th show. Can you believe it?
Oh my God.
We are going to be playing, talking about NBA The Run. I've just realized that says something completely wrong on there. So let's get rid of it says final. It's not the final NBA, but there you go. That's more like it. We're going to be talking about NBA The Run. We actually only have 4 games for you this week because it has been a really drought of a week for new games. So we've only got 4 new games. We have got some news, but it is all Xbox related because Xbox has had a interesting week. Let's put it like that for now. And we'll be talking about different elements of what's been going on in the past week with Xbox. And I wanted to do the PlayStation charts, but we couldn't get them. There was no information on PlayStation charts. So we're going to go back and look at the retail charts after we gave you an update last week. So there you go. Rock News says, but we've enjoyed listening about the Astro Burn game. I'm sorry.
You guys are the best. Like the audience here, just amazing, man.
They're
Thank
awesome,
you so much. You guys are awesome.
There you go. Well, thank you again, Haz, for being on the show. And now you're going to see what chaos alludes after we did with a bit. So what you've really let yourself in for. You thought you get a nice little interview and a bit of plug-in, and now it's just shit's gonna hit the fan. So let's see. Yeah. Let's go. So our first game tonight, which is probably kind of the biggest release from the last week. This came out last Tuesday. You can get this on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. This is NBA The Run. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
We're back, baby. Come on, we here. We deliver it. We got you. You want the handles? We got you. You want to be outside in legendary courts? We got you. You are not ready for this. We're slipping and sliding, switching and dishing, rocking and rock shocking. Yo, rookie status. All of that. Bye. We back, yo, better than ever. NBA The Run. I gotta catch my breath. Out now.
PlayStation. So there you go, folks. This is, people are trying to say that this is going to be a successor to NBA Jam. If you remember back on the SNES and Mega Drive days, again, going back to the retro, this is the game that everyone's been waiting for. But is it? Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one, please.
Yeah, it's nice to see a bit of a different take on a sports title, because I don't know about you, but I get a bit fed up of seeing the same yearly ones come out from all the big AAA publishers. So it's nice to see something a bit different than the mainline NBA series we get from 2K each year, which is obviously a bit more of a sim the way that one plays. But this one is a basically sort of 3v3 arcade style street basketball game, a bit like the old NBA Street series that you used to get a number of years back. This looks like a pretty decent game. It's got a bit of a sort of stylized look to its graphics, a bit of cell shading there from what I could see, and it's a mix of current NBA stars, I think some fictionalized street ball people as well. So they got a bit of a mix there. And whilst it's got single player modes you can play, just go into some tournaments, try and win all the trophies, play with all the different players. Probably that sort of stuff might get a little bit old, a bit quick, but it has got the online modes, which is probably where you're going to have the most fun. You get a mate around, play a bit of couch co-op with this, or play online with people. I think that's probably where this will, hopefully do well and be a good bit of competition for the more mainline NBA game. So,
I agree with that. I think so. A bit more arcadey, a bit more fun. Kindred just posted. It's £26.75 on Steam, which is actually the most expensive version, weirdly. 25 quid on Xbox and 20 quid on PlayStation. So if you fancy it, PlayStation's the best place to get it right now. Has your thoughts on this?
I like the look of it. I like the stylized. Like it's got a stylized kind of like a Fortnite kind of vibe to it. I remember playing the SNES version a lot, and it was go that way and isometric. It'd be interesting to see how this plays out in full 3D, because obviously you're whipping the camera around and stuff. But I feel like gamers today are so used to that. But I noticed the fireball, and I think keeping it stylized makes this more fun, and probably will appeal to the less hardcore sports gamers, which I think that's what they're going for in a way, from the looks of it.
It's like the casual players that just want a bit of fun.
Yeah. And like Dave said, the couch co-op thing, I think that's going to be the big thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Be good fun.
Yeah. Now, if you haven't seen the show before, we technically don't review the games, but I scour the internet to get tons of scores, whether it be from places like IGN, Eurogamer, Gamer Ranks, Metacritic, GameSpot, to name a few, and I turn it into an average score. You may agree with it, you may not, but the reason people are putting numbers in the chat right now is you've got to guess what the critics said. Get the average score. Now, neither Dave or my guest or the chat knows what these scores are. I'm the only person who does. If you get it correct, then you get a shout out. So chat, you get a shout out for your channels. Obviously, we're going to keep plugging your game. So you can have anything from 0 to 10, and you can have 0.5s. I'll start with Dave, and then I'll have a look at chat, and I'll give you a moment to take that all in, Haz.
Okay.
Dave, what do you reckon this has got?
I'm going to try a 7 for this one.
Okay, going for a 7. Well, let's see what everyone else is saying. Chloe going for a 7. Danka also going for a 7. Hannah going for a 7. Okay, seems popular. Jenny says 8 fireballs. Yes. There you go. Rock Music is saying 7.5. Kindred 7. Flame 7. So chat, get your scores in. Everyone seems to be around that 7.5. Haz, what do you reckon this has got?
I'm feeling 8 on this one. For some reason, it just looks like they've spent a lot of time trying to get this look appealing to everyone. So I'm gonna try 8, but I'm seeing a lot of 7.5. So
okay. All right, well, we'll see. Okay. We got Retro Jazar saying a 7. Dave says 7. I missed the trailer. I was trawling the VOD for you slagging me off. Wasn't me slagging you off. Then again, maybe it was. I can't remember. A lot's happened in the last 50 minutes. Gilfly saying 7 as well. 7 seems to be a popular answer. Folks, last chance. Get your scores in the chat. This is NBA The Run, which came out last Tuesday on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. And if there are no more scores in chat, Danka also put new studio too, Play-by-Play Studios. This is their debut title. So hope it goes well for them. So we can tell you that this got, on average, 7 out of 10.
Wow, look at that.
There you go, which is not bad. I don't if you work for IGN, apparently that means it's dreadful. But 7 out of 10 generally. Sorry, I shouldn't really say that after you've had your game on there, but let's hope they give you a 9 out of 10. You'll be fine. So they can sue me later. I don't give a shit. 7 out of 10 is a decent score. So I think for a first time, it's been a couple of years, this is pretty good. I think the fans will love this. People who love the nostalgia will love this. It's certainly going to be good. We're doing all the shout outs in the chat. And Dave, your first one right this evening.
Yeah,
which is good. You're off to a good start. So for those who don't know, Dave is not a streamer. Therefore, we can't give him a normal shout out. If you're in chat, you can do exclamation Dave, which gives you a big Dave in the chat, just like that, as it's just appeared on the screen. But also, we like to give Dave, because he's a fountain of knowledge, another way of giving him a shout out. Dave, how would you like your first shout out?
Oh, you can start off with some spinning on your chair.
Coming up to you, sir. Okay. Gonna limber up. You ready for this, Haz?
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
This is top quality entertainment like you've never seen before. Here we go.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
No, let's not.
Very nice.
There you go.
How are you not spinning out of like dizziness? Like how are you like?
Well, I actually can't see anything on the screen right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm composed, and I may look like I'm still, but my eyesight's going like that.
I'm getting evil vibes from Dave because Dave just had a straight face when you spun.
It's the
like,
king.
I've seen this so many times.
He's seen this so many guys. Here we go again.
He's actually bored to death with it. 270 shows, and he's like, "Could you come up with something more original?"
Was that the case?
Yeah, probably. But there you go. Don't limber up too much. We need the knee cracking later. Good point. We might get the knee cracking. One of these days, that chair will break. I hope not.
That's what we're waiting for. All this spinning is going to slowly be weakening.
That was your
plan, at some point, it is going to go. You
snide bastard. I'm doing no more shout outs. It's hell on doing it on the phone. Oh, bless Dave. Thank you for doing shout outs. He's constantly spinning, says Chloe. Yeah, I am.
Noted.
There you go. I get dizzy just being still and upright. Count your blessing, Mags. I know. I was like, yeah, he's sick of being in Mags. Yeah. Dave is actually locked in my basement, so we don't let him out. Yeah. There you go. Jesse, good evening. How you doing? Good to see you, dude. But there you go. 7 out of 10 on that one. Congratulations to all the people that got that right. I will just quickly go through them. There you go. So Gilfly, Retro Shazar, Flame, Kindred, Hannah, Danka, and Chloe all got shout outs. Congratulations to you. So let's talk about our first bit of Xbox news. So we'll kind of start. It kind of starts positive and then it just gets worse as we go on. But literally, the back end of last week, after they'd done the showcase, Xbox did announce that after they did the price hike, because as you know, back in October, they literally jumped up the prices on Game Pass up to 50% in some countries, that they lost millions of subscribers, and we're talking millions. So at the start of February 24, they had 34 million subscribers to Game Pass. Now, we haven't got the figures of what it dropped down to, but they're saying they lost a big chunk. Now, obviously, when it was first announced, there was a lot of uproar. Big Fuzzy Panda, good evening, sir. It was a bit of uproar, and people went to Twitter and social media say, we're boycotting it, we're cancelling our subscriptions. Nobody knew if that had worked at the time. Xbox has said it did because it had a massive impact. Now, Ash Sharma was obviously brought in. She's done a number of U-turns on a number of things. As we've talked about, the whole this is an Xbox campaign, which was shocking. She got rid of that, scrapped that. She basically said, we're dropping the prices back down. Now, granted, it's still about £3 more than it was, but it has brought people back to it. They had seen an 8-month decline in Game Pass. And they basically said they put it at a price that they think is now suited, and they are slowly seeing an incline, but they said it's going to take them a long time to get them back to where they were in February of 2024, which is when they were at their height of Game Pass subscribers. So that's all we're going to talk about that bit for now. But I mean, we talked about this a lot, but what was Phil Spencer and the team thinking at this point? Because they always stated that Game Pass was the main reason that was selling Xbox consoles and was the most profitable thing for them. So why do a price hike? Because it's clear now, even more so now, it's just alienated most of their fan base and all the people that did support Xbox.
But it's clearly a whole bunch of investors breathing down their neck saying, we want more profit. We want more profit. If you look at the latest news that came out today, they're saying that they want to put Xbox back into a more sustainable business.
Yes.
And they use the dreaded word, we want to make more monetization.
Yeah.
They want to monetize as much as possible, right? So, Microsoft is a big corporate company and there's a lot of shareholders. And when you have a bunch of shareholders and a bunch of investors, they are literally going to steer how something looks. And putting a massive price hike is a big no-no. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
But for them, it's like either that or God knows what else would have been worse. Like there probably were going to be more layoffs than we probably know already if they did a price hike. So there's a lot of people can say, oh my God, Xbox, but there's usually more to that story. But of course, at the end of the day, gamers are the ones that suffer, right? The consumers are the ones that end up suffering big time.
It's true. Dave, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think at the time there was some thought that perhaps doing the price hike to sort of offset the losses from putting Call of Duty in there. So I think they were sort of saying it's like losing like 300 million in sales, just for having it on Game Pass. I mean, they've spun it out of Game Pass now.
Yeah, they've taken it out.
Come in a year later, and they've knocked the price down. So that seems like a fairly likely thing. But there's always been a question, hasn't there? People wonder how profitable Game Pass is generally. I know they've got like say 30 odd million subscribers, but you think some of the costs of something like Microsoft's big AAA stuff that they're putting into the service, how do they make the money back on those? I mean, Gears E-Day is coming in October, and that's been rumored to have cost like 300-400 million. How are they going to make the money back on that? By having it in Game Pass, not on PlayStation 5s and no sales there. But I do wonder how profitable Game Pass actually is. I mean, it looks attractive, nice library of games. You just go and play, but sometimes as you look at what's coming out, and you think nothing there. I'm really going to bother playing. So I mean, I've started just dropping in and out of the service. Picked it up recently for Forza. I'll get another month for Halo and probably another one when that Plague Tale game comes out in August.
Back end of August.
And then just do it like occasionally. I think it's when some good stuff comes out. I'll quickly grab it, play the latest big game on there, then drop back out again for a bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Kinju said these issues and layoffs must have been discussed and agreed way before Shaman took over. That is something we'll talk about in the next little segment that we're going to be talking about. But yeah, it is one thing that it is true that a lot of this stuff was happening before she even came in. So we'll see. We'll talk a little bit more Xbox decline later on. We've got it in 3 segments. Dave That was the easy bit. Okay, we'll come back to that. But we're going to move on to our next game. This also came out last Tuesday on PC, but just for PC. This is a game called Voidling Bound. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. Oh, yeah. Remember Ginger Tim out this. My sort of game were his exact words. Okay, interesting. A number of people like this. A lot of people comparing it to Fortnite, like it's got elements of Fortnite in it, but then other things as well. Jenny says, I am here for it. There you go. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one.
I suppose I consider the Fortnite comparison as probably like graphics wise, the way it looks, but it's got a bit of sort of Pokemon to it as well, because it's a bit of a creature collecting game. You're played as like a spacefarer who's trying to wrangle these various creatures who are immune to this, I think, particular sort of alien parasite, and you can use them to fight the alien parasite. But instead of like Pokemon, you catch them in the ball, throw the ball in, and then command them in turn-based battles. This one, you're I think just taking control of the creature's mind, and then controlling it that way. So you're taking that creature into the battle and just controlling it like third person sort of shooter type levels, trying to like cleanse the planet of all these this alien stuff that's there to try and save it. Looks okay, not really my sort of thing. I've never really been to sort of the Pokemon creature collecting game, but for people who like that, you'll get to like evolve the creatures and breed them, try and make better versions of them to carry on through the game. So I think people who like that sort of thing, you might get something out of this one, but not for me, I'm afraid.
Okay, that's fair. Haz, your thoughts on this one?
It gave me vibes. I mean, Pokemon definitely, especially when you start like upgrading your character and stuff. It had No Man's Sky vibes to it for some weird reason, like traveling planetary, clearing stuff up and exploring. And I'm a sucker for that. So, I mean, I'm a big No Man's Sky fan, right? Yeah. So I'm a sucker for that. But also, as you can tell, I love cute stuff as well. So I would probably play this game just because out of curiosity, I want to know what this game is. So
Okay. See, this is why we love doing this show. We do pick some random stuff on the show. I should say, I get a long list and then Dave whittles it down, and then we just get some random games. And there's some games that people absolutely adore that they've never heard of, so that always works really well. Yeah. So there you go. Let's see what people see. Gilfly says, "Me too." Has he's a great. So let's see what people are saying scores wise. Also forgot to say, it's normally £22.49 on Steam, but it's currently £20.24. So you're going to save yourself just over £2 there. If you get that, then Danka says it's not my sort of thing, but I could see this being an 8. Chloe, 8. Hannah, 8. Kindred, 8. Jenny saying an 8.5. Dave says, talk more about Halo, you coward. Well, we will when it comes out next month.
Looking forward to it, though.
I fucking not. Flame, 8 out of 10. I deliberately said that just to wind Dave up. Not this Dave. Other Dave. I'm going to stream it because that'll wind Dave up as well. 7.5 from Gilfly. Retro Shazar, 8.5. Icarl said, I missed the trailer because he was eating dinner. So 7, obviously, as we always say, save 7. If you miss anything on the show, go for a save 7. You never know. We have had people who got it right and haven't even seen the trailer. It's hilarious. So there you go. Haz, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon this got?
I'm getting 7.5 feeling on this one.
Okay, 7.5. Okay, Dave, what say you?
I'll try an 8 for this one.
Okay, go for an 8. All right. Any more, folks? This is Voidling Bound, which came out last Tuesday on PC. And if there are no more guesses, waiting for Dave Housen to drop a score, as he always does. Just I'm about to think.
There we go.
Dave dropped an 8. Thank you. See, I read him like a book. Dave says an 8. I can tell you that this game did get an 8 out of 10.
No way.
There you go. 8 out of 10 for this one. Rock Muse just coming in with a 7. So congratulations, Dave Housen. You get a shout out. Hannah is now 2 for 2. Let us know if you're 2 for 2 in the chat, if you're guessing. Dave, congratulations. You got one right. Flame, well done. You got it right. Kindred, you got it right. Hannah, well done. Chloe, well done. Danka, well done. All of you there got 8. Shout outs are going out now. And Dave, you're 2 for 2. Good sir.
Wow. I am. Thank you,
You're
mate.
having a good run this week.
Let's see if I can keep it going.
Yeah. Now, how would you like your next shout out? Don't forget chat. Exclamation Dave in chat.
Well, I think Kindred's probably looking forward to the knee cracking. So let's go.
Wait, what? Wait, there's a knee cracking?
Yeah. So I've got.
Listen,
remember, I'm in my
you probably hear it.
So my knees are going. You might hear it. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, that was the right knee. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back up, but here we go. After 3, 2, 1. Dave!
Well done for getting up.
Jesus.
This show just got dark, dude.
It did.
Knee cracking. Like, what the hell? What's next? Actually, I don't know what's next. No,
Stigmata. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I bleed for my work. Here you go. And here you go. And Jesse goes, and that's the end of the show, people. Thank you. There you go. Well done. It's the reason why I turn up. Thanks, Kindred. You've been watching all these years, and thanks. There you go. It says it's fixed. Dave knows the answers. They work on the list together. It's a conspiracy. The fact I am 2 for 2 is coincidence.
Okay. Sure.
Moving on. Dude, never mind your chair breaking. Your knees might break. Yes. I think that's highly likely. I think in the list of things in the order, knees will go first, then the chair, and then GTA 6 will come out in 2032. There you go. That's the order of things that are going to happen. Let's move on to some more gaming news. And guess what? It's all about Xbox. I did say it was kind of Xbox heavy. So, as Kindred was saying, the fact that Asher Sharma's come in, rocked the boat, kind of started to do things for better for the first few months that we've seen. She actually stated in a press conference that obviously they have a new Xbox that they are working on and they want to release. I think it's Project
Helix.
Yeah, Project Helix. But obviously it was touted as possibly going to be the most expensive console of all time. Now she's turned around and she said that obviously Project Helix is still going to be a thing. It is something that they are going to do after all the rumors of, are Xbox going to do consoles anymore? Are they not? Are they just going to be a publishing house? It is going to happen. However, she is being realistic and has stated that people cannot afford consoles and gaming machines that are going to cost thousands.
Yeah.
Right? They have basically said, and this is what Haz was saying earlier, she put a statement out that they have said they have now, Xbox has got a radically different business model, right? They've got this platform. They want to change it because basically one thing, which is a big thing, is that they have gone back on having exclusives. Like they were dishing out, as we've said before, games are coming to PlayStation. You know, we had the Indiana Jones game come to Switch 2 a couple of weeks ago, which is great. Love that game. But there's no exclusives anymore. And now they've started to backtrack and say, well, the ones we've said were going to be such as Halo, that will come to PlayStation, etc. But as Dave said, mentioned, Gears E-Day and a number of other games are going to be solely for Xbox. So we're going to get back to the Xbox exclusives, which is obviously then possibly going to drive sales for Game Pass because people want to play the exclusives. But then you've got this console. And they admitted that they are not in a healthy position. Xbox, she admitted this, they are not in a healthy position. And they want to get the signature exclusives back out. And they want to bring more exclusives in. So they want to get these big name titles out, bring more stuff in so that people can get these games out and basically change the whole model of what Xbox is doing. Now, I'm not going to go on to the next bit because this is a bit that we've had the news in the last 24, 48 hours, which is not so great. But in theory, her plan seems to be going back to the basis of when Xbox was great. So I think I joked and made this phrase of make Xbox great again, because obviously they put the prices up of the recent consoles. We've seen that with PlayStation as Xbox.
Yeah.
We're not just saying that's just Xbox. That has happened. But now dropping the prices back down of Game Pass, as we mentioned earlier, and trying to get these exclusives going, it's an interesting thing to see. Now, funnily enough, Kindred said they gave away all those green Series X's after their last show. Great way to save money. I know it wasn't like hundreds and hundreds of consoles given away free. iCloud says, interestingly, was Xbox ever great, though? I think there was a time when it was, and I feel
360 era, I'd say, was the high point.
Yeah, 360 era was the high point, right? Xbox One was the start of the downfall, especially when they had to backtrack with, Kinect is always going to be watching you, and Kinect has to be with everything. And you're like, whoops, he was out the window. Phil Spencer came in, and I'll be honest, for most of the time, Phil Spencer did a great job. And the Xbox era of Xbox One got better, but was always playing second fiddle to a PlayStation. Along comes in 2017 the Switch, which then means Xbox is relegated to third place, and it's always been in third place. And even with Xbox Series X and S at the time, the Series X console was actually more powerful than a PS5 when they both came out. They decided they were not going to do a next-gen refresh. PlayStation did, so the PlayStation 5 Pro is the more superior console now. So they are still in third place. They need a lot to change. They did have a good point, but are they ever going to get that? And that's the question I'm going to put to Dave and Haz. Are they ever going to get back to the point where they are number 2 or even number 1? Do we think that's ever going to happen? Or are they always going to be playing third fiddle because they're not second fiddle anymore?
It's tricky to know if they could or not. I think that if they would have to bring out their next-gen console at a really good price, which kind of seems pretty impossible with the component prices as they are at the minute. So they need to bring out a console at a really good price with some really good exclusives that you couldn't play anywhere else. Not PC, not PlayStation, solely on the Xbox. So to really tempt people to buy the console.
Yeah.
But I can't really see that happening. I kind of expect that when the Helix comes out, I reckon it'll be expensive again because how much the components are costing, and it might well feel like the Series X and the Series consoles when they came out didn't really feel like much of an upgrade because there was stuff all new to play on it. It was just it upgraded your games by the smart delivery. Downloaded a better, higher quality version of it. I'm kind of expecting it to be a bit like that for the next gen, which if it is. It's not doing anything to tempt you to buy that new console.
No.
I say price is really going to matter on it. I mean, it's all well and good Ashley Sherman saying, people aren't willing to spend thousands, but I don't know if they could make the console for less at the moment.
No.
Really, whatever she says doesn't matter a huge amount because the console's been pretty much, spec'd up and designed, years prior already to where we are. It takes a long time to design and make these things and order the components from your suppliers to get it all ready to make and get out. So she can't really make much difference to it, I wouldn't think.
No, and I think this is the thing because when we talked about this, it was announced and they were like, it's a machine that can play Steam games, and it also means that then technically the PlayStation, Sony games that are on Steam, you could actually play PlayStation games on it. And we were sitting there and thinking, and what? Because you could buy a PlayStation and have a Steam Deck or a PC. At the time when they were saying, we ain't doing exclusives anymore. I know they've backtracked on that since. what was the point of getting in this new Xbox machine? It serves no purpose. It might do now if they are going to go back to the exclusives, but are those exclusives going to be good enough for you to want to get this? Because at the moment, I'm sitting here going, not really. From what we saw in the showcase, there wasn't anything that really grabbed me, as I said last week. Has your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I'm thinking about if Xbox is going to try to reclaim that market in consoles, they're going to have to do more than just prices. Now, obviously, we know why the prices of all the consoles are going up because of the memory prices and these AI companies and blah, blah, blah. But I remember the time when consoles like the PlayStation 1 would come out and there was design aesthetic thought gone behind those things. They were nice. They were nicely shaped. They fit in your living room nicely. And if you look at the PS5 today, it's big, it's clunky.
Yeah.
And you look at and all the Xboxes have always been very hard edge and clunky and stuff. But then you look at Nintendo. Nintendo make gorgeous consoles, even their GameCube and so on. And I feel like if Xbox is going to try to like stand above, they're going to have to make their consoles look a bit sexy, or like at least put some design aesthetic. Like, I mean, look, Steam announced they're making their living room console, right?
Yeah, and it like a perfect little square. It's
the Gabe Cube they call it, right? The Gabe Cube.
Yeah.
And it looks good. It looks nice. It looks like the sort of thing you want to put on your living room, and it's small. And I feel like as consoles have become more and more apparent in today's generation, I feel like they've forgotten about what makes a really good piece of hardware.
Yeah.
They're just making hardware because it's like they're cramming in all this RAM, all this processor, and like, it can do teraflops. Gamers don't give a shit. If the games have got to be good, the price has got to be good. It's got to look good, the console, and it's got to feel like you're buying into a really cool ecosystem. And PlayStation did that really well. PlayStation's always had that way of making gaming cool, right? If you look at PS1, when PlayStation first came out, it was tapped into the ravers culture. Raving music was the thing that drove, right? I mean, I remember seeing an interview with The Prodigy saying they missed out on the deliverables of one of their albums. I think it might be Jilted with Generation or or Fat of the Land, because they were playing Tomb Raider on PlayStation. That's great marketing, right? I haven't seen anything like that for Xbox. And yes, we have Halo and 360. I totally agree. Absolutely agree. It is like that was a golden age for Xbox. But anything later on, it's just like, oh, and we have Xbox. It always felt like, and we've got this other machine. It's a tough market to break into. That's why I'm surprised Steam is doing it.
Yeah, but then I think I can see Steam doing very well with it. I think with what they're doing.
Let's see. Hopefully, depends on their costs though.
Well,
price.
Yeah, that's a good point because
they are struggling a bit.
But then you say that, but then you look at how affordable the Steam Deck was and how affordable it is now. But then you had the handheld Xbox ROG Ally X, and it was like 800 quid. And you just get a bloody Steam Deck. It's like 250 quid.
You say that, but after the Steam Deck's price wise, it's hard to justify that. As the best handheld to go for now because its price has got closer to the.
Yeah, I get that.
It's trickier now. I said the Steam machine. Hopefully, it'll be good when it comes out. But I say everyone's just wondering what its price is going to be. It could be 1,000, or it could be a bit more. Again, it's all the bloody component shortages that we've got.
Yeah, which makes
prices just going up for all those bits, boosting all the bloody console prices up. It's just a bit of a pain.
Yeah. Let's see what chat is saying. I said, will Xbox bring it back? Kindred says no. Always playing catch up, and probably because of a reason that will be discussed in the next segment of what the fuck is going on with Xbox later on the show. Dave said they can't recover to a level where they would ever best Nintendo or PlayStation. Nintendo know their area and niche and can't be beaten, and PlayStation have too many good choices to give their place up now, in my opinion. Iquel said the whole generation has been a bit of a damp squid. So Kindred says you might as well just get a PC then. Chloe says Xbox has flopped because they lost their exclusives. I totally agree. I don't think they will recover. I'm just waiting for Fable, knowing Xbox, they will probably close the studio then too. Let's hope not. I don't. We'll see how it goes.
I wouldn't have thought so, because they're releasing good franchises at least that make a lot of money.
Yeah. And remember, it's the same company that have been making all the Forza games. So I find that hard to believe, especially when Forza Horizon 5 was one of the best-selling games on PlayStation 5, which is hilarious considering it's an Xbox title.
Playground made the Horizon ones, but Turn 10 made the Forza Motorsport. That
True.
Hot.
But Turn 10 are in trouble, and we'll talk about that later. Dan, good evening. I love Gears, but I'm not buying an Xbox just to play one game. I totally get it.
Yes.
That's true. I've never had any inclination to buy an Xbox, always a PS5 or Nintendo. Has earlier made a comment about blowing a cartridge and now calls console sexy. Help, the guest is in love with hardware. Why not?
Busted.
Yeah. Kindred says, I'm not that asked what a console looks like as long as we can play the games and they play well. Guildfire says, I think they are way too big as in terms of consoles. I opened a few PlayStation 5s and trust me, they could have saved room on them even with the slim ones.
So true.
I'll be honest, Switch 2 hardly takes up any space. My Xbox Series X hardly takes. PlayStation's so awkward to put anywhere.
It is, yeah.
Oh, I know. It's size and shape of that bloody thing.
Yeah. I think Steam has a huge following. I think people are quite loyal to what they know.
True.
You can play consoles without an internet connection. Will you be able to do that with the Steam one?
The Steam one should let you play offline.
Yeah, you download it, right?
You download it, but yeah, it will tend to always go online when you power it on. But you can tell the console to go into offline mode,
which is probably better than actual consoles because there's PlayStation 5 and Xbox games that even though if you've downloaded it, you still need an internet connection to be able to play it. So actually, that gives the Steam
is a bit game dependent as well.
Yeah, so there you go. We probably won't have consoles soon, just online contracts through smart TVs. I mean, that's the way it's going.
Yeah, looking like it.
Did you watch the gameplay video of... Oh, he's talking to Kindred. There we go, sorry. Look, it's hardware, not software he's interested in. No kink shaming here, says what news. Yeah, if you switch to offline mode on the top left of Steam, Kindred, it should work all right. There you go. So people are learning stuff. There you go. We will talk more about, we're going to call this segment, what the fuck is going on with Xbox? That's what we're going to call it now. After we talk about our next game. This game came out last Wednesday. This came out on PC, Nintendo Switch, and on mobile phones. Is it an Xbox? It's not an Xbox. That's the thing that you keep your eggs in. There you go. This game, I told you this chat is wild. This game is called Crushed in Time. Let's have a look at this.
And here it comes, folks. Review bombing.
One of the NPCs seems to have completely disappeared from the game. Please, somebody do something!
Holmes, we've got mail.
Let's see what it says. Dr. Watson, I miss you already. Signed, Emma. And who is this, Emma, exactly?
I haven't the faintest idea, Sherlock.
Did you just say Emma? No. How could she? I must go back there.
I cannot wait to be back home, Dr. Watson.
You're going to disrupt the space-time continuum!
How dare you abandon your Sherlock Holmes, your dearest friend?
Holmes. She needs me. Death isn't what most people expect, Dr. Watson.
Even if you manage to find her, you won't be able to come back.
Testing!
Oh no!
Holmes, the world is crumbling down. Mr. Wilhelm was right. Nothing is real.
Do we still have a straitjacket stashed somewhere?
Not since I managed to free myself from it, Holmes. Did anyone fix the bug?
Not me.
There you go. I'm not going to lie. I really like the look of this. I think this is very clever because this is taking it out on the fourth wall but I'm sure Dave will explain what this is all about, because this isn't your typical point and click adventure, is it, Dave?
No, it's not. I think the Holmes and Watson characters in this game did feature in the publisher's original game partially, so they're kind of like spun out from that into this one, their own little adventure. And it is very much like a self-aware, fourth wall breaking, game. An actual NPC in the game has gone missing, so Holmes and Watson in their search, I think, will actually sort of travel through the game's own like development, and you'll see the stage that you're in, like the game in various like early stages of development through to like the finished sort of product. So very sort of reverential, self-aware in what it's doing, but looks quite fun the way they're doing the point and click. So it's not like your standard point and click. You'll click on stuff, but you get to like drag it. It's like an elastic band, and then let it go, and it will sort of snap back, and it might knock a character's head off, or you'll knock an object somewhere it needs to be. You'll be doing stuff like that to try and solve the puzzles, which looks quite fun. It's like a little unique way to play this type of game. And as you say, it looks pretty good as well. I like the graphic style they've gone for. It looks like it should be quite funny. So it looks like a cool point and click to me.
Yeah, and the fact you can play it on a mobile phone as well. You can play this on an iOS, which is
it would be cool. It would be good on touchscreen.
I think that's what
that would work really well on that.
Yeah, you'd probably be able to play it on the iPads as well. Kindred saying, crushed in time. Currently £22.49, down to 18 quid on Steam. No exact Switch date has been announced yet, but it is supposed to be coming to Switch, so we'll find out. Wonder how much it is on mobile phone, whether it's roughly about the same price. It'd be interesting to know. Now I want it more, says Rock Muse, because you can play it on the phone. Haz, your thoughts on this one?
I was watching the trailer, and all I could think about was this is why indie games exist, to be able to do wacky stuff like that. Like, if you try to pitch this to a big studio, they were like, "What now?" But this, you tell the developers were going for some weird meta, breaking the fourth wall kind of thing. Ready Player One, The Matrix, Free Guy. It's just, I'm so excited about this game. Like, I'm watching this trailer, I'm like, this is freaking genius. Like, even the mechanic of the elastic kind of like pulling and like spinning the things, and the comedy, the narrative, there's all the good things that you'd want in a game and more. And I'm so excited about this. Like, and the style, like you mentioned, the look of it is so unique. This is what we need. We need more of these unique games. I love that.
Exactly. This is the sort of stuff that we want. I love this. It does also hark back to the days of things like Day of the Tentacle and things like that. It's got that vibe to it. And Sam and Max, and that just, again, ticks all the boxes. Let's see what people are saying in chat. Some people are loving this, some people not. Danka says an 8. Rock Muse is like 8, and I want it. 8.5. Chloe 7. Kindred 8. Jenny 7. Chat, keep getting your scores in for us. Dave, I'll come to you this time. What do you reckon?
I'm going to try an 8.5. Sorry, no, 7.5.
Going for 7.5. Yeah. Okay, 7.5 from you. Flame is saying an 8. Haz, what do you reckon?
I'm saying an 8 as well. Yeah, 8.
Saying an 8. Okay. Iqual saying an 8.5. Retro Jazar saying 7. Anybody else, folks? Last chance. This is Crushed in Time, which came out last Wednesday on PC. There's a Switch and a mobile phone version coming very soon, apparently, even though where I got the reviews from said that it was out, but clearly it isn't. But there you go. That's what happens when people type stuff. They sometimes get it wrong. I can tell you, if there's no other scores in the chat, that this got... Oh, Dave Housen sneaking in there with an 8. And probably a good thing, because this got an 8 out of 10.
Oh my God, I finally got one. Oh my God. Finally.
Well done, Haz. So firstly, can we have a shout out for our wonderful guest? Get on that Kickstarter. It has got less than 2 days to go. They've already smashed the goals, but if you want all the wonderful stuff, if you want the cartridge, you want the cards, you want the box, all the things, go and support the game. Do it. There's also the link that you can go and wishlist it on Steam right now as well. That list is in there. Thank you so much for dropping that in the chat. And the following people also got it right. We have a couple of people who are free for free. Kindred and Danka and Dave Housen are free for free. Dave Housen, congratulations, you got it right. Flame got it right. Kindred got it right. Rock Muse, congratulations, you got it right. Danker as well. So we've got 2 people 3 for free. Question is, can you guys make it 4 for 4? We shall see. But before we do that, let's come to our third part of what the fuck is going on with Xbox, because this is the bit that really kicks in with the news, because all this happened in the last 24 hours. So let's start at the beginning. It started with yesterday, the middle of yesterday, that 2 bosses for Xbox Game Studios are leaving. One being Craig Duncan, who was the head of Rare for many times, and then has come in, was brought in just less than 2 years ago to be the head of Xbox Game Studios. And along with him, Louise O'Connor, who was also from Rare. They are both to depart. No official reason has been given. Statements have been put out, but just says, oh, well, we really enjoyed our time and we did everything that we were supposed to do. And I'm like, really? No offense. Not sure you did. But that was an interesting statement. But at the same time, it has come out that Xbox are looking at all the studios that they own and are going through them, and a number of them are in trouble. Now, one that we know pretty much for sure is Compulsion Games. Compulsion had a fantastic game that came out last year, which was in my top 5 games of last year, which was South of Midnight, also known for doing We Happy Few. South of Midnight was their 3rd game since being with Xbox Studios. South of Midnight also came out 2 months ago on PlayStation and Switch. And even though it got critical acclaim, it just did not sell well, unfortunately, on any of the platforms. They are very much under threat. And this is where other rumors have started to surface. Now, take these with a pinch of salt, but it has been stated that they are being looked at. The following studios are being looked at. Double Fine, Tim Schafer's studio. Obviously, we've known them to knock out hit after hit after hit after hit, especially with Psychonauts. But Kiln, their first realm into multiplayer games, did not fare well and has been deemed an absolute failure, unfortunately, which is not good for Double Fine. Turn 10, as Dave mentioned, run the Forza Motorsport franchise, not the Forza Horizon, but Forza Motorsport. They are potentially being looked at because we have not had a Forza Motorsport game for quite a few years. It's been about 2-3 years since the last one, and even that didn't perform as well as previous outings. And Arcane, a studio that was known for bringing some fantastic games like the Dishonored franchise, Prey, unfortunately, as we know, were forced to bring out a game that was multiplayer, which turned out to be the huge flop Redfall, and have not done anything since. These are studios that have brought out some fantastic games in the past, but unfortunately have not hit the dizzy heights that's expected of them from Xbox, and also have had some flops. Now, this is quite worrying. So we've got 2 studio bosses for Xbox Game Studios going, and now all these studios are being looked at. Now, I get that, as mentioned by Kindred, this is probably not something that Asher was dealt with because this might have started before. But the craziest one for me, and this is the one that really, if this is true, I can't get my head around it. Literally over a week ago, the 3rd in the Senua's saga was announced. So there's a brand new Senua game coming out, and they've literally said that they are looking at scrapping Ninja Theory.
What?
And I can't get my head around this because you're like, okay, now again, Hellblade, Senua's Saga was a game that did reasonably well, the first one. Senua's Saga, the second game, won critical acclaim for the actress's portrayal and the story and the mental health issues surrounding the whole game's theme. But it was also not, it did not sell well, and people didn't take to it as a game because it was more of like a theatrical movie. And again, when it did come to PlayStation, it didn't sell well either on there. But they've gone and announced this game at their major showcase, and they're looking at shutting the studio down. It's crazy. And as Kindred said, didn't realize how much hate South of Midnight had. I don't get why South of Midnight got hate. It's a fabulous game. It tells a beautiful story. It was amazingly animated. It was great fun. Was it groundbreaking? No. But hell, it made my top 5 games of last year. It stood out for me. But this is where I'm looking at. So what we've got here is purely a company that's going, not about, are they making great games? It's, are they hitting sales targets?
Oh yeah, it's not about great games; it's about popular games. Yeah, that's why you see stuff like Fortnite still doing stupid numbers, even though Epic still lay off people. Anyway,
Yeah.
It's about how much money the games bring in, and I suppose it's someone like Ninja Theory. I mean, I think their Senua was meant to be coming out next year, so I'd kind of be surprised if they completely close the studio now. They might wait until they've actually got the game out, then cut them off, because then at that point you've got a studio that isn't working at anything, and if they were to spin something else up, that's probably going to be like 3, 4, 5 years of development. That's going to cost X amount of millions for all the people that work there, and based on their past releases, they haven't made that much money. So that's one to knock off the spreadsheet, get rid of them for that sort of reason. That's the sort of thing they're going to be looking at. It's not about popular stuff. Sorry, it's not about great stuff. It's about the popular things. That's why was it Tim Schafer Studio could go as well, because they make some interesting stuff like Psychonauts and Keeper.
Yeah.
Yes, Kiln was a bag of shit, but it probably didn't cost too much to make. I think they've got a small number of people there. But again, it's you look at what they've brought out and how well it's sold. It ain't going to look that good. Really, it's just a bit of a shame.
I mean, I did find it weird. Keeper, as people know if they watch this show, Keeper was my #1 game of the year. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic game. But what surprised me is obviously back in February, Kiln was announced. Double Fine were at the same show that Haz was at, yet they were promoting Keeper, not Kiln. And I was like, this game has been out since October. I don't get why you're promoting this and not your new game. I found that a weird strategy.
Yeah, especially with a multiplayer game, you need people to see it, get interested in it. You need the audience there, otherwise it's just going to die down. Like Kiln has done.
Yeah,
and I think when I looked yesterday, there was like 7 people playing it. It never peaked over 200 on Steam. It did dreadfully, but I suppose really someone probably should have said to them at the outset, a multiplayer game about pottery, it simply is not going to work. No one's going to be interested.
Yeah,
you see what's popular in the multiplayer space. A lot of it is your sort of military shooters. And then you got your Fortnite. But also, a lot of the stuff can break in.
Yeah. But also we've got to look at the cost of these games. The costs are spiraling.
The cost is ridiculous.
The costs are ridiculous. Like, obviously I can't say too much on like Dune Awakening. It's got the NDA signed, but like that was the equivalent. My agent in film and TV who doesn't work in games, when they saw like the scale of that project, that is the equivalent of making a Marvel film, probably a smaller Marvel film. Like, it's like when I saw the credits on the game Dune Awakening, I'm like, I don't even know half of these people. Like, who are these people? They're like all over the world. Like, and if you look at games like Senna, the Ninja Theory game, and people hating on the fact that it was too much narrative because of just the genius of the storytelling. But then you look at Death Stranding on PlayStation, and that apparently did wonders on PlayStation.
Yeah, and
it's a walking simulator.
Generic game. Yeah, exactly. And this is what I don't get. Maybe it's that love thing of Kojima can do no wrong. So if he
it's the marketing. It's the marketing. I think like Queen Regent Chloe mentioned that there, but like Sony they're the masters of marketing since day one. They know how to market their and for Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima is that marketing guy. It's almost like a cult thing. Like if it's a Kojima game, people are going to buy it regardless of like whether it's good or not. They're just going to follow it. But going back on the Xbox and Microsoft shutting down the studios, reading the articles and seeing how typical businesses work, it's literally they're culling costs down. They're looking at, they're basically filtering highest cost studios. Just filter that. They go, okay, well, wow, that costs millions to make. And also you got to remember, it's a very, as we all know, it's a very saturated, and I speak from a developer's point of view and I feel that pain massively when I speak to my publishers about hitting certain numbers for Astroburn, early access and so on. And you start to realize that, oh my God, it is such a saturated market. Yeah. And Dave, you're rightly so, like Fortnite does so well. But if you look at the Fortnite games, they're not very good quality games. They're brain rot games. You know, a lot of it are brain rot games. Like, you know, there's 20 million versions only up. People are hacking other people's games, ripping other ideas off. But those are the games that are doing well because they're based on player retention.
Yeah.
And when the money people, when they look at a game, they're not looking at how emotionally like engaging the game is. They're looking at player retention. They're looking at data. It's all about data today. And it's a shame because I remember the day I would buy a game based on the box art, guys. The box art was enough to get me, I'll buy this game because the box art looks good. And then I buy the game and like it's nothing like the box art, but I'm so immersed in it because it's the storytelling, it's the whole experience. Whereas today, the industry is not like that. The industry isn't about making just great games. It really is about hitting those data targets. And it's a shame. It really is. Soapbox, there you go. Mic drop. Is Max frozen or something? Or is he just is he just shocked at what I just said?
With your words.
He's just like, I can't believe this. I mean, if he's staring, that's really skillful. But I think he has crashed.
I know he's doing well. They're not blinking. Oh, there we go.
Right, it's just me and you, Dave. We're going to carry the show. We'll take it home. Come, let's do this.
He must be having internet issues. Hopefully, he'll be back in a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. You know, they do need to find a way, don't they, to sort of control the costs. Because I was mentioned earlier, like Gears E-Day, rumored 400 million budget. How do they possibly expect to make that back?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The ROI is insane, right? And that's the thing. And like, you could put so much. And look, let's face it. Like, you could put so much marketing and PR. But even with marketing and PR, like back in the day, as an indie developer, you put a lot of marketing PR. You have to recoup the marketing costs as well as the developers' costs, and then the publishers' cost, right? There's all of those costs you have to recoup. It's the same with the film industry. But when you got a budget of 400 million. I don't know if that, I'm hoping that includes marketing because that'd be really crazy if it doesn't include marketing. They have to recoup that and publishers' costs and all these other hidden costs. So at what point do the developers actually make a single profit, right? Unless you're a developer that's embedded in the studio, like the Microsoft studios, like Ninja Theory and so on. But like if you look at the indie developers are so reliant on the sales because they want to make their next game. There you are. We're wondering, Mag. We were thinking your stare was so intense. We're like, holy crap.
Yeah, I was halfway through a thing, and then suddenly, you know, when you get those little power cuts where it just goes off and on for a second, it went off, but it was enough to just wipe me out the studio. So I had to go out and come back in again. So I was like, oh, thanks for that. Everything went off, come back on, but like everything else stayed on, but it just booted me out the studio. So there you go. At
least
I'm back. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. No trees don't. No, luckily no trees don't. Last time this happened, I think it was just before December, a tree came down and it wiped out all the internet lines. So that was the last time this happened. So I did have a little panic because I was like, oh God, not again. Because I had no internet for like 6 days. Jenny says, Haz said he loved EGX while you were. How dare you put words into Haz's mouth, Jenny? Yeah. Yeah, because I've been talking smack. Microsoft got to my breaker box. That's what happened.
Yeah, there you go. They're listening.
Listening in.
Yep,
Damn.
I know what we're talking about.
I know. Well, let's move on before they completely cut me off. If they are watching, I do still own an Xbox, by the way, Microsoft. It's not all bad. There you go. But just sort your shit out.
I've seen Dave's comment.
As being in love with hardware has scared Michael.
Scared you off your own show, dude.
I know. Yeah, she shocked me off the show. There you go. Our final game for tonight. This came out on Thursday on PC. I'm bound to get the title of this wrong. This is called Tales of Syracuse. Let's hope I don't have another power cut. Here we go with the trailer. Here we go. This is from Fireshine Games. This came out on Thursday on PC. Very, very cozy sort of style. It said, reminds me of Studio Ghibli. This is too cheesy for me. I like cute, but yeah, need a bit of an adventure. So some people are, again, dividing people. Some people are loving it. Some people are not. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this, please.
Yeah, this is a bit of a fantasy life sim and farming RPG. So it's another one of these sort of cozy type games. Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned in the chat. Not the sort of genre I go for, so I wouldn't go and play this one. But for people who like the sort of genre, yeah, you're gonna go in there, build a farmstead. Go out on I think a sort of adventures to find stuff in the world. There'll be various villages you can build a relationship with. I think the sort of villages appear a bit like this sort of anthropomorphized animal type characters, so they're fairly human but with animal features, and your character will be getting like various abilities to help you explore the world. Like there's an ability to which you like fly around the area. Other ones that you change into the characters that can help with like puzzle solving and stuff like that. There's some puzzle solving to it, so there's a fair bit there, but it depends if it's really your genre or not, and it isn't for me.
Not mine either, but I appreciate that people love these games, so I'm not going to knock them. Haz, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, someone mentioned it already, but Studio Ghibli. It's like if Studio Ghibli made a game, that's kind of what it would be like. It has all of the things. Even the music has a Studio Ghibli adventure kind of vibe. Yeah. Like it's not really the sort of game that I would go out and buy right away. But if it turned up on my Steam or my PlayStation, I would sit there and play it because I feel like the way the world's going at the moment and all the negativity that we're seeing on the news and stuff, you kind of need games like that. Everything has to be shooting and blasting and cyberpunk dark worlds. Once in a while, it's good to just immerse yourself in something different. So I will definitely just play the game. Why not? It looks cool. I can roam around. I can fly, which looks cool. And it's magical. Let's bring that magic feeling back. So, yeah.
There you go. It's what me says. We all need a little escapism.
Absolutely. Yes.
Hannah says, it's why I love cozy games. I can just not ignore reality for a bit.
100%.
All right. Well, let's see what people are saying with scores. Also, this game is normally 20 quid, but it's down to 14 right now. So if you like the look of it,
nice.
Bargain. Go get it. Let's see. We have got Danka coming in with a 7.5. Chloe with a 6.5. Jenny with a 6.
Wow.
We have got a 7, but me and Hannah would be all over this game. Anna, 7.5. 7.5 from Kindred. He said, would be surprised if it hit an 8 with Stardew Valley fans. Flame says 7. There you go. Haz, what do you reckon?
Oh man, I think it's gonna go like 7.5. Like I would stretch to an 8, but I'm gonna go 7.5 on this one. Yeah.
All right, going for a 7.5 from Haz. Retro Art saying 7. Chat, get the rest of your scores in. Dave, last chance. What do you reckon?
I was thinking 7.5 as well.
Okay, 7.5.
I'll go with Haz.
Okay, all right, folks. This is your last chance. This is Tales of Sea Caillou. No idea if I've said that right. I apologize if I've not. Came out on Thursday on PC. Dave Housen saying a 7.5. I typed CQ into Google Translate to see what it meant in English. Sexual cure, apparently. 9 out of 10. Thank you, Icon. It's supposed to be coming to consoles at some point later this year. There you go. So if you like it and you haven't got a PC, might be able to play this late in the year. I can tell you that for our last game this evening, this got a 7.5. There you go. Haz, congratulations. You got 50% of the games right. Can we get a shout out for Haz? Go check out that Kickstarter. Go wishlist on the Steam. The links are appearing right now in the chat. They're also pinned to the top of the chats. Please do go do that. Congratulations for getting your second one right there. And Dave, you are 3 for 4, good sir.
Whoa.
So how would you like your third shout out? Chat, exclamation Dave in the chat.
You can do your walk on from the side.
With me, do you know what? We should do the pixel version of me, shouldn't we? Celebrate pixel version of me. We also call him Bob Ross. You'll see why. Okay. Right, are you ready?
Go for it.
Dave!
Thank you, Bob Ross.
Thank you, Bob Ross. There you go.
I was not expecting that. That is cool. That is cool.
Mini mag. There you go. Let's see how everyone else did. Now Hannah says that's the most I've got right in weeks. She got 3 out of 4. Congratulations. Danka says 4 out of 4. Full house, number 1 of the year. So the first time that he's got them all right. Well done, Danka. Congratulations. So who else got it right? Obviously Hannah got it right. Kindred got it right. Well done, Kindred. Dave Housen, well done. Obviously said Hannah. Danka. So there you go. I think you all got it right. Congratulations. Number, you got at least 50%. I don't think there's anyone that got anything less than that. So that's really good going, you lot. We'll have more games for you next week. But to wrap up the show, we always take a look at the latest game charts. Now, as I said, I couldn't get the PlayStation chart. I don't know why. I scoured everywhere. They're just not put them out. You know, in my luck, they'll probably be published in about an hour's time. I'm like, thanks. Great. So I thought we'd go back to a staple that we do every 2 weeks. We're going to look at the retail charts again. And what I'm going to say with this one is you can tell that the sports season has kicked in. Because after me stupidly saying, hey, we finally got rid of EA Sports FC 26, I might be eating my words, because here is the latest chart for the UK retail games chart. Because at number 10, a re-entry, Pokemon Legends Zeta A. At number 9, a re-entry with F1 25. A re-entry after leaving the chart 2 weeks ago at number 8 is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Moving nowhere at number 7 is Call of Duty Black Ops 7. At number 6, going up 3 places, Mario Kart World. Going up 1 place at 5 is Pokemon Pocopia. At 4, after dropping a few, going back up 4 places is Resident Evil Requiem. At number 3, down 1, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And last week's number 1, it was number 1 for 2 weeks, dropped 1 place with 007 First Light. And re-entering at number 1 for about the zillionth time, EA Sports FT26 is the number 1 selling game of this week. But I think that changes because in 2 days, it's going to be free on Game Pass. So we'll see if that affects it. But the fact they added a World Cup mode and we got the F1 on is interesting to see that both those games have re-entered back in the charts. So there you go. All the Mortal Kombat games have gone out because the Mortal Kombat film's at the cinemas these days. Yep. So it was there. We saw them coming in. And like, again, Nintendo ruling the waves. Literally, their games all coming back. 3 of their games coming back into the charts, which is great. And I know Hannah loves all those games that we mentioned there. And Mario Kart World going back up the charts as well. Any surprises there, guys, or what you think? Or is it
probably no real surprises there?
That might make sense.
Yeah.
The main big hitters are there, like you'd expect, the F1s, the EA, FCs. But I'm glad to see like RE9 and 007 still doing well, selling well. Yeah.
Obviously, RE9 is the biggest selling game of this year so far, and 007 First Light is on track to be the second biggest selling game of this year. Awesome. So I was a bit worried because last week I wasn't at number 9. Resident Evil Requiem had dropped to 9, and now it's shot back up 4 places. So it's good to see that is doing well. But there you go. We'll have more charts for you next week. If I can get the PlayStation charts, I will. Otherwise, it'll be Steam or Xbox next week. But that is it, folks. That is our show. Woo. Thank you so much to our wonderful guest, Haz from Beyond the Pixels. Can we have the links dropped again? Go check out the Kickstarter. You have less than 2 days. It's already smashed the targets, but if you do it, you're going to get some amazing stuff, including that physical version of the cartridge and the game cards and everything else.
And your cat featured in the game.
Cats. Some people have asked for dogs.
Yeah, dogs are welcome. Dogs are welcome as well. Absolutely.
Do it. If you want your cats and pets and goldfish and chinchillas or whatever else immortalized, we can make that happen. Dave's like, no more cats. No more cats. Jenny says, good luck, Haz. It's been lovely meeting you and hearing about the game. If you want to see more of the game, Knott's VGE on the 18th of July, if my memory serves me correct. Haz will be there, as I will. And if you can't make that, obviously the event that we run, Timeless Gaming Convention, in August in Liverpool, Haz will be there with a ton of merch and a load of other stuff that you can buy. So go check it out. He will be there and I'm sure we'll get him up on stage and do something as well. We haven't.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We'll make that happen. We can make that. We can make that happen. So there you go. Big shout out to Dave, the co-host who knows the most. As always,
a pleasure, mate.
Thank you so much for being a fountain of knowledge that you always are. Thank you to all my mods, and of course, all of you in chat. Thank you to everyone that was in YouTube, everyone that's on Twitch. We will be back with another show like this next Tuesday at 9 p.m. UK time. And my guest is a guy that's not been on the show before. His name is Ben Bailey. Now, that might not mean a lot, but if you love Pokemon, it will mean a lot, because he is the person responsible for this, which is called Shiny Dex. Shiny Dex has been around for a number of years, and it is a resource that you can track all your Pokemon on. And it has had a massive revamp, and I got to meet him at TwitchCon, and he will be our guest next week. So for all the Pokemon fans out there, you are not going to want to miss this, because there's a lot of people that know about Shiny Dex. As he said, there's a lot of people who don't know, so you might want to use it as a great resource. So there you go. Also, just a reminder, streams this week. Tomorrow, starting a little bit early, 7:30, we have our second of sponsored Minecraft content. Minecraft are sponsoring me over the next couple of weeks. I'll be on at 7:30 playing some more Minecraft very, very badly. I have no idea what we're doing tomorrow. Last week, they chucked me into the back rooms. I shat myself a lot. Don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We shall see. And then we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Dead by Daylight. And again, courtesy of TwitchCon, I was given a ton of these cards, which have got 500,000 blood points. That is a lot of points. I am dishing out about 20 of these cards to people in chat tomorrow, so you can win some prizes tomorrow. As for Thursday's stream, Denshin Attack's been postponed by a month, so that's fucked my schedule. So I've got to think of something. I was then considering playing Lunar Abyss, but they also announced a couple of hours ago that they're sacking the whole studio and shutting it down only a month after that game come out. So I've got no frigging idea what I'm going to be streaming on Thursday. Stay tuned for that. Something's going to happen. But there you go. Oh, the wonders of Twitch. There you go. And the gaming industry. We are now going to go do a raid. If you're on Twitch, you're going to get raided over to someone else. On YouTube, it just ends. Sorry, that's how it works with YouTube. So let's see who we can raid. Maybe do more. Thursday sounds epic. Yeah, I've got no idea. Do more Astro Burn, says Chloe. I mean, we could maybe do that. Or maybe do some Jackbox and we could do some more Astro Burn. We could do that. Yeah. Assuming my computer or internet doesn't shit itself again. So we'll think of something. We will think of something. I might have something lined up with Jackbox, but I'm not allowed. No, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not. You should let the community. No, he didn't win that iQuail, so he's not allowed to pick a game. Not like you did. Doesn't work like that. Let's see who's on. Who can we raid? We raided them last night. Oh my God, this guy. We've got to raid this guy. He's insane, and I love him to bits. And he's a year ago I met him, and he came third in the Just Dance tournament. He was wearing full army regalia. Wherever you see him, he is dressed up. He is amazing. And I said to him last year at the Twitch meets, he is going to become a phenomenon. He's become a phenomenon on TikTok. We are talking about the Henry West. He is live. He's absolutely smashing it. If he doesn't make partner, I don't know. He is playing Barrow Trauma, which sounds like an interesting game. I'm not familiar with that one, but we're going to go raid him.
I've heard of that. I haven't played it, but heard of it.
Okay. Well, let's go raid Henry. For that, I will drop the Twitch link in the chat. In fact, I'll drop it in all the chats. So there you go. Thank you so much. There is the links. That raid will start when the end credits have rolled. And then all that leaves for me to say is, folks, wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, a great afternoon, or a great evening. And I shall see you back tomorrow a little bit earlier at 7:30 for some Minecraft-sponsored content and a big Dead by Daylight giveaway. From all of us here, we'll do that thing where we wave. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. You're awesome, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm down to a fight.